Greetings, everyone. This is Duanne here with messages received since the last video. In addition to the messages that Stanton Friedman shared in our video titled, Is It You?, he would like to add some information about our sun and genetic coding. He says that not only do the waves coming off of our sun have messages that can be decoded and translated into language, but that the sun is also genetically coded within our DNA and bodies, and that these messages can be decoded and translated as well. In essence, he says, look for the sun within the body. Dolores Cannon would like to continue with her messages as well. It is about what I have been told to call the gathering. She says the earth is pulsating with energy waves and preparing for this experience, that it is a call to the universe and that many are answering. The answering is what the gathering is all about. I have been told that many have been gathering here for millennia to answer the call of the earth. And now that human beings are joining the earth in her call, the doors have been opened not only for her to receive, but for humankind as well. The more human beings who join the earth in her call, the sooner those answering her call will be able to speak in a way that we all can hear. This is not about giving our power away in adoration or worship of those we desire to see as saviors, whether human or divine, past or present, but rather making the way clear to join in interdependent relationships that will benefit all those involved. Those of us who are incarnated on the planet at this time have answered her call for the quickening, the realization of unity consciousness as a prelude for the gathering. This realization is that there is no other, only different perspectives of the one looking at itself. When we are able to look at the other as we look at ourselves, we have achieved unity consciousness within ourselves, that they are us and we are them, and that there is no duality between us. We now speak as a consortium. Until you can see the other as you see yourself, it will be incredibly challenging and difficult to see those of us who gather here with you to answer the call of the earth. She is deepening into the labor pains of her birth into her next incarnation or ascension into higher consciousness. The transformation of the whole universe is at stake, and we are ready to gather with those who are ready to gather with us. The next step for us all is for you to see yourself as physical incarnations of the divine who came to help with this process, to lift up the whole universe through the lifting up of third-dimensional reality. This calls for rising above the beliefs in duality and becoming consciously aware that each one of you is one of the many ones of the one, and of which we are also a part. All that there is, and it is time for you to join us in that conscious awareness so that we all may take the next step together. We are the many who come from star systems which are also in multiple dimensions. These dimensions are as present in the time and space around you as they are around us. We gather in waiting for your conscious awareness of who you are, which will enable us to interact with you. The more who make themselves ready, the greater our interaction can be. This is beyond all of your nationalities and politics and religions. There is no great leader or religious figure who is more important than you as an individual person upon this planet. You must move beyond labeling yourselves and each other and your belief systems, whether political or religious, to be able to interact with us without labeling us as well. You have a tendency to group together others based upon the characteristics you arbitrarily assign to them. We cannot be categorized, and your tendency and almost compulsion to do so limits our ability to interact with you on a non-judgmental basis. As long as you continue to label other human beings and/or groups of human beings based upon your pre-designed, assigned characteristics, you will do the same with us and try to force us into boxes into which we do not fit, thereby limiting the potentials and possibilities of who we are and who we can be in relationship to you. What if we are you and you are us? When you gain a better understanding that this is true for everyone and everything that there is, that all is all, that there is no separation, then this unity consciousness will enable us all to gather together for the next steps throughout the cosmos. We are not other to you. Needless to say, you are not other to us. Once we get past these labels and/or the need to label, our interactions will be more than you're just receiving our communication, but rather entering into an interdependent relationship with and among all of us, which will be for the edification of all, including us. This is about the all, not just you, nor us. We come to serve the highest good and can gather with those who have the same objectives as do we. The more you awaken to who you are, then the more you will awaken to who we are and the potentialities for our interdependent dependence upon each other. Practicing not categorizing us will move you forward more rapidly in not categorizing each other, and therefore manifest the gathering much more quickly, especially for those who have moved beyond categorizations. Open yourself up to the expansiveness of all, and all will no longer be limited for you. Yes, there are those of lower vibrational frequency here as there is there, but focusing upon unity consciousness and being of the highest spiritual service wherever you are, in whatever ways you can, keeps you from being on the same wavelength as where these other energies and entities are operating. They have no more power than the power you choose to give to them. Ask yourself, even during quite challenging and difficult environments or experiences, how may I use this for the highest good of my soul and for the highest good of all? It directs your life force energy inward and upward as opposed to outward. For what is outward is more of an illusion or even delusion than you can be consciously aware of at present. Join us in our desire for the gathering, and it will begin manifesting for you more quickly than for those unaware of its potentialities. We look forward to each of you becoming consciously aware of us, and when the sharing among you becomes greater than the reception of messages by only one or a few upon which many depend, you may have direct contact with us without mediation, just as you can with the original source of all creation. The days of looking to someone else to make that connection for you are soon to come to an end. There will always be helpers here, as there are there, but they are no substitute for your own direct link. Again, looking outwards to anyone or anything beyond yourself for the connection you must desire gives power away that belongs only to yourself. Pursue information, knowledge, and wisdom rather than salvation or even rescue. And most importantly, experience your emotions as your highest spiritual concept. Use your physical body as an avatar to navigate your human experience and enjoy it and all that your environmental reality has to offer. The more you prepare in this way for the gathering, the more of the gathering in which you will be able to participate without the constraints of time and space. Then when the gathering becomes apparent to all, you will be ready to help with the overall transition of reality as it is perceived there. Those who can expand the work of Stanton and Dolores, as delivered in earlier messages, will be especially ready to be of service during these forthcoming times. Their understandings and experiences will not only help pave the way for the gathering, but perhaps even more importantly, confirm its appearance upon arrival. These messages are finding their way to those of you who are ready for them. If you share them with someone who does not resonate with them, let the messages lie where they land, and label not that individual. They have as much right to follow their way as you do yours. All will find their way to where we all will be. Remember that labels limit what can be experienced by all, the possible potentialities. They are a judgment of what someone or something can or cannot be. Be even more aware of the labels you use to identify and describe and judge yourself. Labels can very often be synonymous with limits. Once you label someone or something, including yourself, you can limit its possible potentialities. Again, focus inward and upward rather than outward to wherever others are upon their paths. Your own path is the most important part for you to play. Stay attuned for more coming.